Hi there guys, and welcome back to another solo run on the RetroBrown channel. So today we are in Johto with Togepi, the baby egg Pokemon, which Misty carried throughout so much of the anime. We are going to do a solo run with just this little egg, and this is going to be an interesting one. So last week we had Pineco, and Pineco had worse base stats. It had a total of 290. Togepi's got 245. And those stats are even worse when you look at its attack stat, its speed stat. Speed stat's only 5 points better, but still, we're going to take those 5 points and we're actually going to do something with it. So Togepi is not a great Pokemon when you look at it on face value. And it doesn't have the greatest level up moveset. But what it does have is a fantastic TM moveset. And what makes Togepi a very interesting Pokemon is at level 7 you get the move Metronome, which is a very interesting move. See there, we use Metronome, we get Guillotine. That's how we beat the rival. Metronome uses a random move out of the however many moves we've got in Gen 2. I think it's like 200 odd different moves. So you have a random chance to use any one of them. And we got Guillotine in that battle, which is fantastic. So this is going to be interesting to start off with. So our rival for today is Radhara. I think that's his full name, or at least abbreviation of what it was. New subscriber to the channel. Thank you very much for subscribing. It is very much appreciated. And we'll get on with the run, see if you can give me some problems against my Togepi. So, against Falkner, we don't have any great moves. We don't get any TMs until after Falkner. So we have to make do with what we have. And considering we've got a complete carousel of moves with just Metronome, we get very lucky we're getting a Surf on that. So at level 11, we can use Charm to reduce the attack on the Pidgeotto, which is a fantastic move to have this early on in the game. Gives us more chances to use Metronome. We get Fly. And I forgot that Gust actually hits you while you're flying, which is an interesting mechanic I never actually knew about. So we go into the battle again at level 12. We did lose that previous attempt. And we don't really get the greatest luck starting off with Metronome. We can use Growl as well to kind of stall out, get their attack down, and let Leech Seed do its work. So we can get into that Pidgeotto at full HP. That's what we're hoping for, really, with Leech Seed attacking there. We can use Charm against the Pidgeotto. We've got 21 HP, and we can start using Metronome. We get a Clutch Rest, which really helps us out there. And then we get Sand Attack, we get Rock Throw, which is super effective, we get Lock On, and then Thunderbolt to be able to take it down. So random how these battles go when you use Metronome. We will not be using it for too long, because within the tunnel before Azalea Town, we can pick up Mud Slap, and that's pretty much what we'll use against the Ghastly. The most annoying thing about the Ghastly is though it uses Spite, which means we've run out of PP for Mud Slap. And we get confused by the Zubat. We're not very good HP. Sweet Kiss is a good move for confusing them, but we keep getting flinched and we get taken down by the Zubat of all Pokemon. But I think it's possible at the level we're at, so we just need to get a little bit better RNG. Metronome is still our main attacking move, and we get put to sleep straight away, which is not great. Mud Slap is the best move to use against that Ghastly. It's the only really super effective move we do have. And being put to sleep is really one of the worst things. We don't want Spite to hit and reduce our PP. We can use Sweet Kiss to confuse and then Charm, but we take it down. So next up is the Zubat. We want to get that Sweet Kiss off early. We get a Giga Drain on Metronome. We get Mega Horn. We hit ourselves in confusion a couple of times. Oh, Double Slap takes it out finally. We're at 21 HP for the Croconaw. I'm going to use a few Mud Slaps just to take its accuracy down. Sweet Kiss to confuse it. Annoying that Rage does hit. Water Gun does hit as well. We're on 1 HP. And now we've only got... We take it out with a Flail. Oh, Metronome is so fun. Oh. Considering it is not one of the strongest baby Pokemon there is, it's actually been a lot of fun to use so far, but I did pick up Swift in the tunnel before Azalea Town, and from there we can actually get rid of Metronome and have a move that hits every single time. With the moveset we've actually got a very good set up Pokemon here. With Charm to reduce attack, Sweet Kiss to confuse, Mud Slap to reduce accuracy, and then Swift as our main move. This is actually, in this early game, has actually turned out to be a very fun move set. We beat Bugsy first time, we can move on to Whitney. Now, I did level up a bit for this battle, because there was a lot of trainers to the north of Goldenrod which are in front of a move that we really wanted, and that move is Rollout. Considering how good the Rollout is on the Miltank, I wanted to make sure that we could set up against the Clefairy, and then when the Miltank comes out, one Rollout should be enough to take it down. But we do get flinched there, so annoyingly we have to start setting up again, but they've also set up Rollout as well, and then we start missing all of our Rollouts. I try to go for Charm just to hopefully give us a bit of leeway, but it doesn't work on this attempt. But this is how we do beat Misty. You need to make sure you're set up on that Clefairy and that Rollout hits every time. So, we missed the very first one. Of course we missed the first one. Our accuracy on these last few runs has been abysmal. But we take it down, we've got 3 Rollouts set up, and 1 Rollout on the Miltank should take it down. Can we hit? We do, and it's a one-shot with a critical hit. And that is how Togepi takes down Whitney. We are level 28, 29, but yeah, this is, despite how high level we are, despite the time it's taken, this is strangely becoming a very fun run, which I think I needed straight after that Pineco run. Pineco was not enjoyable to use, but Togepi so far is just funny. It's a funny Pokemon to do a solo run with. It's a tiny egg. Starting off against Morty, we actually do get cursed. We're at 41 HP, and I don't think we're going to do too well here. We've got 23 HP going into the Gengar, so unless we can take it out in one, which we do, we managed to take it down. We got 1 Haunter left. We can tank 1. We've run out of Rollout. Nah, we're going to lose this one. Yeah, we've lost. Curse is an annoying move, but second try, it's actually going to be going a bit differently. And we can get our rollouts set up without Curse hitting us. So, we did get hit by Curse, sorry, I completely missed that one. But we've got 43 HP going into the Gengar, so we can actually tank at least a little bit more HP if we do get hit. And is this enough to take it out? We're on 1 HP, and finally we take it down with Rollout. So that was a slog, but that again was so fun to play as. And that just leaves us on to where we go next. And I actually moved on to Mahogany Town next. It made more sense to go and get some more levels up before we even try and attempt Chuck and Jasmine. We're weak against Chuck's Pokemon, and Jasmine is always a struggle considering that she's a Steel-type Pokemon. Pokemon Trainer, sorry. Moving through the Rocket Hideout quest, it's not really that much of a problem. We are quite over-leveled. We've got to level 41, and we haven't even gone against Price yet. And Price is not going to be that much of a problem, really. His Seal comes out, and we're just going to go straight for Rollouts. And as soon as we can get those Rollouts set up, really, we're going to have quite an easy time. But we don't really get that lucky in this attempt. It made more sense to start going for Return because we can take things out in 2. And then that just leaves one more Pokemon after this, and that is the Piloswine. If we get hit by a Blizzard, yeah, we're going to go down. So, for the first time in quite a while, we actually lose to Price, and it means that we're going to have to go up to level 42. I took the loss in the experience because I wanted to go against... I just wanted to keep it. We don't get much experience at this part of the game, so we might as well take it where we can. This time we get luckier. Rollout does hit twice and then misses, so then we have to set up again while the Seal is asleep. And while the Seal's asleep, we can set up enough Rollouts, which means the Dugong should go down in 1 on the next turn. As long as we don't get frozen, we should be fine here. Aurora Beam can't freeze you, it lowers your attack, but Rollout takes it out in 1, and that just leaves the Piloswine. So, Rollout hits, and we take it down in 1. So the Price does become quite easy in hindsight. So now we've beaten Price, there's only 2 places left we can go. We have to go and beat Chuck, we have to go and beat Jasmine. And I'm nervous for both of these trainers. If we get hit by a Karate Chop, that's going to do big damage on us. So we're hoping for this Primeape to use Fury Swipes. We're level 46 going into this battle. and we start off using Charm. That way Fury Swipes does barely any damage. We get 2 Charms off before we can start using Rollout, and what we're hoping for... Oh, we're not hoping for critical hits, I'll tell you that. And yeah, we are not going to do well. 14 HP, and we've got the Poliwrath left to go. Unless Poliwrath misses with Dynamic Punch, it does. Of course it doesn't. 50 accuracy and it still hits us. Of course that makes sense. Our Rollout at 90 accuracy barely hits, and yet his 50 accuracy move hits us straight away. So we leveled up a little bit more, and we actually taught a move that I don't really use as well. In the last few runs I've had to use moves that I am not really one for using, and we taught Double Edge to Togepi. But we didn't need it in this fight, we just needed Return. And to be fair, the smarter move would have actually been keeping Safeguard, which we got at level 31. Because so many of these trainers use status moves on us, Safeguard would have been the best move to have kept. But I skipped it without thinking, and it meant that we actually had a bit more of a problem moving forward. So if I'd used Safeguard there, we wouldn't have been paralysed, but we have been, and that makes this battle a whole lot harder. Rollout is not going to do much against these Magnemites. And I actually realised there was another move we could learn which would make this fight a lot easier, but this meant we had to go back to Goldenrod, and we had to gamble. We had to go and get some coins, because the move that we want is Fire Blast. And this took ages. This took ages to be able to get all of the coins that we needed, and of course the slots were not playing in our favour really. It just... yeah, we get 10 coins. And then we lose them all again. This is how annoying gambling is in Pokemon. It just makes it really annoying. I got 5,000 coins and then realised I needed another 500. So, yeah, this getting Fire Blast was really annoying. But when we finally did get it, we had a super effective move, which meant that Jasmine is just going to become much, much easier. We don't need Rock Smash, because we have Fire Blast, a 120 base power fire move, which is super effective against their steel types. So we're level 49 going into this battle, and you'll see how much Fire Blast makes a difference. Takes the Magmite out in 1, second Magnemite comes out, and there it goes. So last up is the Steelix. Can we one-shot the Steelix with a Togepi? Can we? We can! It was worth getting Fire Blast just for this fight. And I reckon there's probably a few more trainers coming up that we actually need Fire Blast for, so we are going to keep it for a little while. So, starting off against the rival in the Underground, Return's going to be enough to take out that Golbat in 2. Magnemite is here, and we miss with Fire Blast. Of course we miss. Thankfully, Thunder Wave doesn't hit. Fire Blast is enough to take out the Haunter. Sneasel is weak to fire, but it's also defensively weak as well. And to be fair, it probably would have been better me going for Fire Blast against that Sneasel. Feraligatr is actually not very good when the rivals use him, so we can get past him on the first try. So that leaves just the admin in the side quest to beat, and we've still got Rollout. So that means that his Pokemon are going to go down pretty easy. And not even the Houndoom is going to be a problem here. We do get Poison, which is annoying, but we're level 56 moving into Claire. Now Claire I don't think is actually going to be that much of a problem. As long as we don't get hit by Thunder Wave, we should do alright. So I'm going to go for Rollout here. Thunderbolt hits, and we've started accumulating damage Rollout. The next one hits, that's going to take it out in 1. And we've got one more that we can do against the Kingdra. It goes for Surf, and we tank it, and finally Rollout takes him out. So that was just good timing on my part. Not the best strategy, but it definitely was good timing. That moves us on to Victory Road, and Togepi is flying. I don't think it's as good as Magby in terms of the level and the time we've managed to get to here, but it's still a very fun Pokemon to use. I don't think I actually realised when I first started this run how fun a Togepi run could be. Annoyingly, we get paralysed by the Magneton. Of course we get paralysed. We always get paralysed. And Fire Blast misses. We get confused. We're para-confused right now. We get a curse hit on us. And we managed to land the Fire Blast after about 5 turns. Oh, Kadabra is going to go down in one. And last up is for Alligator. We have been cursed, so we need to take it out. Slash hits, but we get taken down by the curse, so we need to try that again. We really are hoping for better luck on this. It's just not going our way in a lot of fights. But I'm having so much fun with this, I really didn't care. I just kept plugging away. And we managed to get through to the Golbat without taking too much damage. Level 62 now. And we can move on to the Magneton. So I should go for Fire Blast here. We take it out in one, we're not paralysed. Next up is Haunter. Fire Blast will take it out in one as well. And that just leaves two Pokemon left. And we're not confused, we're not paralysed. We can take down these Pokemon. We've got 120 HP to contend with for Alligator. He goes for the best move possible and he went for Rage. And that means we can take him down in two. And that is the last time we will see the rival now. Thank you, Radhara. You have been a challenge on some of these fights. So, the Elite Four. I didn't really have a great answer for many of the Elite Four. Return is generally a move that I always pick up now in Gen 2. It's a fantastic move to be using. But we just don't have great answers for a lot of these Pokemon. We have set up Rollout, so it is doing a lot of damage. But we miss with... we miss against the Executor, and thankfully we got Fire Blast taken out. The Slowbro is going to be a problem. It uses Psychic and we lose. So it became consistent to do this fight at level 66. We do get confused against the Xatu here, but we managed to power through it for a return. Double Slap is the best move it could have used there, and Fire Blast takes him out. We're going to go for Fire Blast again on the Executor, and we're onto the Slowbro with decent HP. It's going to take two returns to take it out, because we get the crit, and then we're onto the final Xatu. We just need to make sure we... come on, two returns or a critical hit, please. We managed to take it out after a Psychic. That was close, but we can move on to Koga, and because we've got Fire Blast, I think we've got a good chance of doing this first time. So, Fire Blast is going to be super effective against the Ariados, super effective against the Venomoth, but we do get Poison, which is annoying. Next up is the Fortress, and it goes for Protect. Of course it went for Protect. I should have really predicted that, really. Next up is the Muck, and then we've got the Crobat to contend with, but the Poison is starting to do more and more damage. We're at 72 HP here, and if we can hit return, we need one more return, and we miss. Of course we miss. Of course we miss. How annoying. If we weren't Poison, we would have managed to do that battle with quite a lot of ease. And this just shows... I'm poisoned again. What is with the status effects in Gen 2? It's so annoying. We don't get this crap in Gen 1. But we've got a lot more HP going into the Crobat. Two returns should be more enough to take him down. And we move on to Bruno, who is going to be the harder Elite Four member here because we have the type disadvantage. Fighting types are super effective against us. And of course he's going to go for Dig to start off with. So we're slower than the Hitmontop, and he's just going to keep going for Dig, and we're wasting PP here, which isn't good. I haven't used any Ethers yet to get our PP back. Can we outspeed the Hitmonlee? We don't, but we get Swaggered. That actually might work perfectly in our favour. Ooh. High Jump Kick does massive damage. We hit with Fire Blast. Now we're going to lose. That's annoying. We had to get up a few more levels. There was no way to get past Bruno without a few more levels, so we went up to level 70. We still aren't outspeeding, but Return is going to do bigger damage now. Still not enough to take out the Hitmontop. So instead of wasting Return PP, I wasted Charm PP while it was underground. So 144 HP, and we've got Hitmonlee who likes to spam his fighting type moves. This time I went for Return. We hit it through the confusion with a boosted Swagger, so our attack's been increased by 2 stages here. And we're onto the Hitmonchan. Mach Punch is always going to hit you first, and we managed to power through the confusion one more time to take out the Hitmonchan. 112 HP now to take out Bruno's Machamp. I don't know if we will be able to do this, but we managed to outspeed of all things and take him out in one. So now we've just got the Onix left to contend with, and Fire Blast is the best move to use here. He does go for Sandstorm, which is going to chip away at our HP. but 2 Fire Blasts should be more than enough to take him down. And that's Bruno done at level 70 with a Togepi. I was hoping we could do that at a lower level, but it just wasn't that consistent. I mean, look at our base stats, look at our HP, our attack, our speed. We have not got the best Pokemon to use here, but we do have one of the more fun Pokemon to be using. So, 2 returns is going to be enough to take out the Umbreon. That's a good sign. We haven't lost any HP here, and against the Vileplume we've got Fire Blast to take it out. 1 Fire Blast is more than enough to take out that Vileplume, and we move on to the Gengar. So the best move here is going to be Fire Blast. It does use Curse, and we're now against the clock, but we're on to Pokemon 4 and we haven't lost any HP here. Murkrow is very defensively weak, but I'm going to try and set up my rollouts here, anticipating that Houndoom coming up next. We just didn't want to lose too much HP, so we're on 85 HP here, 88 now we've leveled up, and 1 rollout should be more than enough to take out this Houndoom. Flamethrower does big damage, we hit our rollout, and we beat Karen. First time beating Karen with a Togepi, which I was not expecting as well, but we are level 71. I can't really expect too much, but Lance is going to be a different story. Yes, we have rollout, which is super effective, but that's really all we've got to work with. We've put Rest on our moveset now, we've removed Charm, and the best thing that Gyarados could have done there was go for Flail. Next up is the Dragonite, and here I could either go start setting up the rollouts, or I can just go for Return. Return is more than enough for a critical hit to take out the first Dragonite. The second Dragonite, can we get another one? But we do get Paralyzed, that's not good. This is why we put Rest on the moveset. While he is using Hyper Beam, we can use Rest when we're not bloody Paralyzed, and we can get rid of that paralysis. Blizzard misses, thankfully, and we're just waiting to wake back up. Hyper Beam is probably the best move that it could use against us because it has that recharge turn, meaning that if we are asleep, we can stall that out and make sure we can get onto the next Pokemon with as much HP as possible. Aerodactyl is going to be scary. It is going to be scary, and we need to be back at full HP to be able to do this. So now we're back at full HP. Rollout is technically our best move to be using here because it is Rock type move. Aerodactyl, even though it's a rock flying, is weak to rock because of the flying type. And when we wake up, we can start dealing some damage. Return, I just want to see if we can put it into a damage range for 2 returns. And it's going to be 3 returns to take it out. Thankfully, it went for Hyper Beam, so we can use that turn to rest. And it's on barely any HP as we move into the final stages of this fight. We've managed to wake up after a Hyper Beam miss, and we've got 152 HP to take out the Charizard and the last Dragonite. Flamethrower will do decent damage, but 1 return is going to take it down into the red. We can use Rest here to get our HP back up, and it became a battle of just knowing when to use Rest and when to attack him. Once we got him down into the red, we know as soon as we wake up we can take him out. So we're going into that final Dragonite with about half HP. We're going to use Rest and Return and see how much damage we do. It's going to do half damage, so we can tank another another Outrage, use Return, and we can beat Lance at level 78. I can't tell you how tedious some parts of this run were, but majority of this run was so fun to use as a Togepi. I never imagined Togepi would be this fun to use. But now we've beaten the Elite Four, let's see what time we managed to do Johto in. And then after that we will move through Kanto and see if we can beat Red with this Togepi. So, we managed to do this at level 78. And it's 7 hours and 1 minute, so around about the same amount of time as the Pineco run, but just definitely a lot more enjoyable. But let's see how we do in Kanto. First we got to do in Kanto, we've got to go and beat Blue. I mean, we do beat all the other gym leaders, but considering they are quite trivial, I was just like, yeah, you know, it makes more sense in these videos to just show you these 2 really key battles. We do get a bit of a problem against this Alakazam, and we're down to 32 HP going into the Rhydon. He goes for an Earthquake, and we have picked up Psychic from Saffron. So we still have Fire Blast. Sandstorm is doing a lot of damage to us. Earthquake is doing a lot of damage. I'm actually it made more sense to stall out this Rhydon to get rid of its PP. Because once it doesn't have Sandstorm, we've actually got a good chance to move through the rest of this battle. But every time we were getting low, we were having to use Rest, and then he was using Earthquake again. It just became a massive back and forth for quite a while, so this is why I've sped up the footage. So with Sandstorm up, we're going to go for Rest after that Hyper Beam, and I was going to let Sandstorm do as much damage as possible to the Gyarados. And now that Downpour's started, his Water moves are going to start doing a lot more damage. So we're going to have to go for Psychic or Return. Either one is going to do around about the same amount of damage. We've got rid of his Potion, but annoyingly, he does get a Hyper Beam in, and he takes us out. So at level 88, we go back into the fight, and I've actually taught Curse this time. It doesn't really matter how bad our speed is, we need to be dealing damage. So, one return after all the Curse setups is going to be enough to take down most of their Pokemon. And even the Rhydon, a Psychic is going to do 2 hit KO, but we want to keep that HP up, so we need to use Rest, and hope he doesn't use Earthquake. But because we've got Curse set up, his attacks aren't doing very much damage to us. We can then use Psychic whenever we wake up, and we've got a decent amount of HP going into the next Pokemon. The Gyarados was the run ender last time. One return is going to be more than enough to take him out. Executor, his Leech Series was not good, but we can move on to the Arcanine. One return is more than enough to take it out, and that is how you beat Blue with a Togepi. But how are we going to beat Red? So we went into the Red fight at level 88. We haven't leveled up any more yet. This is the first time we're going against him. We're going to set up our curses and see how we do. Annoyingly, we get paralysed by Thunder, but we do have Rest still, so we can get rid of that paralysis. I'm so focused on getting those curses set up that it doesn't really matter when that Pikachu hits us. It misses with Thunder, and we managed to get our Rest in, so we've got full curse set up, we've got full HP. We just need to make sure we don't take too much damage from the Thunders. This is not good. We're on 1 HP. Please wake up. We have not woken up. Please miss. Please miss. No. That's annoying. I think it is very possible to do at this level, so we're going to go straight back into that fight. We need to get luckier against this Pikachu, because this is the best Pokemon to set up on. Annoyingly, we get 2 Thunders in a row, and do we tank it? We tank it on 1 HP. How many times have we managed to tank it on 1 HP just on this run? This is insane. Oh, this Togepi is just surprising me at every level. Come on, can we wake up? We need to get put back to sleep. 4 HP we tank it on this time. Come on, we need to get rid of that Thunder PP. It's got 10 PP. It can't have many more Thunders in the bank now. 1 more Thunder. Come on, it's got to have used all of its Thunders by now. We've managed to get ourselves back to sleep again. Last Thunder, please. That has got to be the last Thunder. And yes, he's ran out of Thunder PP, so he can only use Quick Attack now. This is good. He can use Thunderbolt, which isn't the greatest thing, but it's not as powerful as Thunder. We can put ourselves back to sleep and finally get our curses all set up once we wake up. Thunderbolt is not... It's doing a good chunk of damage, and then he uses Charm. Great. This is going to take even longer than I thought it was going to take. Charm takes down your attack by 2 stages, and he uses it twice here. Which means, to get ourselves up to full attack, we're going to have to use Curse all 10 times. And considering how many times the back and forth on this was just ridiculous. But I promise you, as soon as we get past this Pikachu, the entire fight becomes a lot easier. We are running out of our PP for Rest though, so we need to be a little bit more conservative. We've got 4 more Rests available after this one. And we only need 1 more Curse set up. Can we get it when we wake up? Please do not use Charm against us again. Come on. There we go, that's the last one. So, do I Rest or do I go for Return? I'm going to see how much Psychic does, because I know that he has a full Restore. There's the full Restore, we can use Psychic again. I want to make sure that we don't leave anything to chance here. We need to make sure we can put him into a range. We don't waste our Return PP. And he's only using Quick Attack at the moment, so we're not going to lose too much HP. There's the second full restore. Come on, wake up. And then we get charmed again. Great. We have got some setup, but that is not good. We can take out the Pikachu because it has very bad defenses. And we move on to the Espeon. So that took a while to get to that stage, but this is the final fight. Return doesn't take out the Espeon in one, so we are going to need more curses. But we've ran out of PP. Snorlax is out next. He goes for Amnesia, the best thing possible, because we are trying to physically attack now. It doesn't even do half damage. This is not looking good, but we do have our defense buffs from Curse, so Body Slam is not going to do too much. He goes for Rest, which I anticipated, so we go for Rest as well. Annoyingly, he can use Snore when he's asleep. We do not have Snore. But Return is going to, when we can wake up, Return will do big damage. Snore is thankfully not doing very much. We wake up the same turn. And is this a critical? No way we get a critical hit there. That is insane. It takes him out in one. Venusaur's out next. It takes in Sunlight, but one Return. Can it take it out? It can. Oh, come on, come on. We've got Charizard up next. Usually the run ender for us. It hits with Flamethrower. Does big damage. Oh, it takes out in one as well. Come on, we just got the Blastoise left. We need to use Rest. We need to use Rest. Please tank it. Please tank this. Please tank this. 3 HP. Oh my god. 3 HP. And we take the Blastoise out in one with a critical. Oh, well done, Togepi. That was insane. That was an insane final battle against Red. But we've beaten the game with just a Togepi. This made me so happy when I finally finished this run. And I might honestly rate it higher just for the fun playability of it. And that is the end of the run. Let's see what moves and what level we managed to finish this game on. So, Togepi finished the game at level 89. These were the moves and the stats that we managed to finish it with. Rest, Return, Psychic and Curse. I haven't used Psychic very many times so far. And we managed to finish the game in 8 hours and 20 in-game minutes. So that is about 4 hours and 10 minutes real time that I spent on this run. And it was very enjoyable, I've got to say. If you're going to do a solo run with any baby Pokemon, choose Togepi as an option. It was really fun. I promise you'll have a fun time. But that is the end of the video. And now we're at the end of the video. That means there's only one thing left to do. We need to spin the wheel for next week's video. So let's see what we get on. Let's see what we get for our choices. Wheel is still looking a bit full. We are quite early on in our Johto solo runs, but we will eventually get through every single one of these. So let's spin for the first time. First up is Ariados. No, I've never actually used a Spinarak or an Ariados on a run before. That could be weird. Let's see what we get next. Are you kidding me? What's the chance of getting the same Pokemon twice? Okay, so we might be doing an Ariados run because the wheel really wants us to use it. Second up is Donphan. I'm not going to count Ariados twice because it's already came up. Last up is Typhlosion. Oh, I really want to do a Typhlosion run. But Ariados came up twice. It's obviously given us a sign. We're going to go for Ariados. And we will see you guys next week. If you have not pressed that like and subscribe button, you've watched a lot of my videos. What are you doing? Come on. Be a legend. Press the subscribe button. And we'll see you next week for the Ariados run. Take care, guys.